The last time England arrived for a game, they were riding on the crest of a wave. They'd just beaten France in the quarter-finals and faced the hosts Netherlands in the semi-finals of Euro 2017. A first trophy surely beckoned. A lot has happened since then.
England were absolutely shredded. And they're 2-0 up, and England here have shot themselves in the foot. Netherlands 3, England 0. Exasperation, frustration, and a sense of what could and perhaps should have been.
Soon after manager Mark Sampson and his squad returned home, a long-standing grievance from one of his most experienced players was dominating the headlines.
The fact is that a week before I was dropped from the England team for the first time in 11 years, I had given my account of what I felt was discrimination towards me, what I felt was a bullying culture, and what I felt was a pattern of behaviour towards me that other individuals had not been through in the team.
Sampson, already cleared of wrongdoing by a Football Association review and an independent inquiry carried out on behalf of the FA, was forced onto the back foot.
Are you a racist?
Absolutely not.
He said, make sure they don't come over with the bowler.
I made it clear when the allegations were made that I denied the comment, and that wasn't said.
Now another FA inquiry is on the horizon after Aluko's Chelsea teammate Drew Spence went public with allegations against the England boss. It's not been the ideal preparation as the three Lionesses get ready to face their toughest opponents on the road to the 2019 finals. Welcome to Prenton Park. It has been an absolutely glorious day here on the Wirral, and the September sunshine you can see behind me there, bathing these former Lionesses here with over 300 caps between them. Rachel Brown-Finnis, Kelly Smith and Alex Scott. Great to share this start of a new journey for England as we head towards the qualifications for the World Cup in 2019. But we have to start reflecting on what has gone on over the last couple of months. And Alex, you were the player most closely associated with that camp, of course, in the summer. Can I ask you if you had any idea about those allegations and the effect they were having on the camp in the summer? Because obviously they're quite long-standing, aren't they?
I remember being away at the Euros. I think it was actually before the quarter-final game. We actually was in a meeting and Mark said that there could be allegations coming out in the press, but he wanted us to focus on the France game. And I remember leaving that meeting and there was a few conversations, but all our attention was on we're playing France in a quarter-final. And then the story didn't break during the Euros, and it's not till everyone went away on their holidays afterwards that we realised, OK, the extent of the investigation and what actually was happening.
Can I ask you, did you ever experience any kind of discrimination when you were in the England setup?
No, honestly, sitting here, I can say my time as an England player, I loved every moment of it, but that's not discrediting anyone else's experience. My experience would be different to Kelly's or Rachel's. But it's hard because what we can't do, we can't sit here and, you know, choose a side and polarise a situation like this. This is not what it's about. It's about, OK, there's going to be another investigation and then we'll see the outcome of that.
So what has happened had absolutely no bearing on your decision, which just happened quite recently, to retire from international football?
No, and Gabby, I actually delayed the announcement of my retirement because I didn't want people to think exactly that. And I knew straight away once I announced my retirement that that would be kind of the first question that I was asked. But no, that had absolutely nothing to do with it. I knew my time as an England player was coming to an end, and in my heart I knew that was the right decision to walk away from the team.
How will this have affected preparations, do you think, Kelly? Because it has been a huge story, not just in football and women's football, it's been a huge sports story this summer, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to get away from it. It's, you know, all over social media, it's in the newspapers, back and front, and it's obviously taken its toll on Mark Sampson. But as a player, and having been in this England squad and know these players quite well, I'm sure Steph Broughton, the captain, Casey Stoney, a leader within the team, Jordan Nobbs, another leader, vocally on and off the pitch, would have got the girls together and said to the team with no staff members, look, we can't control what's being said in the press and whatever. We all hear what's going on, and we can't let it affect our mentality coming into this game. So it's a whole new campaign now, a new focus, obviously a World Cup to to play for, and just to try and block it out as much as possible. And Jodie Taylor's come out recently and said that it's probably united them even more, and they're more together, they're more unified, and they're going to fight even harder for themselves and for the manager.
Yeah, for the players certainly have had a lot of fighting talk. For the manager, it's got to hurt, hasn't it, to have these kinds of conversations constantly with the press and having to defend yourself.
I imagine it will definitely hurt, because it's against his character, and that's something he's prided himself on. When he first came into the job as England manager, he was all about transforming the environment, and in my time there, 18 months under Mark Sampson, he very much did that. He opened up platforms and forums so that players could have voices, they could voice their opinions, and that was really at the crux of the transformation of this England team, was about everybody having a voice.
And just going off Brownie's point there, Rachel, sorry, I should say. During the Euros, Adam Streeter was brought in by Mark when he first took over to help with situations like this, how to deal with pressure during Euros or World Cups. And I remember having a meeting, and it was about controlling the controllables. So some players, it's not for everyone, but during you make a circle, you have everything that you control, where I need to be on set pieces, what I need to execute, and that's what you can control. On the outside, you write everything you can't control. So I'm sure that meeting would have happened again this week, and they'd be saying, okay, you know what, just go out there and execute a game plan, and let's control what we can.
One of the things that has occurred to me is that what it has done is actually taken away attention from England's performance in that semi-final, which was disappointing after the run that they'd had and the opportunity, I guess, as well, with potentially one of the weaker opponents that they perhaps would have thought they could get past. And that hasn't been the chat in the build-up to this.
Yeah,
we haven't talked football.
It's all been forgotten about. For me, their best performance was against France. Yes, they dogged out a performance and scored in the 60th minute and kind of solidified the game and defended well. And they went with the same game plan against Holland, which are, for me, a better footballing technical side. And they didn't have a plan B. When it wasn't working to play Jodie in from the long ball, they didn't know how to fix it and how to get... They didn't keep the ball well enough for me, whereas Holland dictated a lot of the tempo of the game, and England needed to step up, and they didn't know how to figure out another way to beat them other than the long ball in behind, and for me that's where they struggled.
OK, well, we will talk more football, and we'll put those allegations, that story to bed for now. And of course, though, it will have affected Mark Sampson. Not an ideal build-up for his first of this England's qualifying campaign for France 2019. So he's been talking about this and a lot more to Ailey Barber.
There is a big game on the horizon, but it has been a very different preparation, I'm sure, for this game. Can you just describe what the last month has been like for you and for the squad of players?
I think it's been difficult for everyone. We're not going to hide from that. Incredibly difficult and trying circumstances, but the team have got a job to do on Tuesday night, and it feels like we're preparing for a big World Cup qualifier, which is what this game Tuesday night is going to be.
You have said over the last few weeks that everything that's gone on has affected the squad. Can you just describe why and how it's affected them?
Well, I think it's clear for anyone to see if this situation was present in any business, any team, any club, any national team, it would be difficult for everyone to deal with. But the players, as I said, are completely focused on the game. There's no one else who's going to manage this team on Tuesday night. There's no other group of players that are going to represent England on Tuesday night.
Did you think about walking away at any point?
I've said before, no. I'm the England manager. My results stand up against any other nation or manager over the course of the last 3.5 years. And I'm completely convinced and confident in the direction of which this team is moving.
Is there a fear that this is what might define your England management as opposed to what's happening out there on the pitch?
That's not up to me to decide. I can't decide what people think. I can't decide or control what people say. And as much as it can be frustrating and disappointing, I can't control that.
It is the first time you've all gathered together since the European Championship, since the defeat to the Dutch. How close are you to making that next step to a major final?
I'm just not sure there was anything we could have done at the time to do any more to come home a champion. We've got no regrets on what we did in the summer. The reality of the situation is we've been to 2 major championships and we've been 2 games away from winning them. Over the course of those 2 championships, we've been the most consistent team. So it's clear where this team is. We're very close to getting that final over that final hurdle and winning a major championship, but it's really hard.
You are favourites again in the qualifying group, and you probably start with the toughest match in Russia.
Fact of the matter is that we are the top seeded team in the group, but we need to respect the teams who are in our group. You know, Russia are a team that went to the European Championships, put themselves in a position where they could have qualified from that group and achieved 3 points at that tournament. Wales, you know, we know from experience will be a very difficult opponent, whether that be from our players who play against them on a regular basis or the experience we've had against them. You know, we know that'll be a difficult challenge, both home and away. We've experienced Bosnia. You know, it's a very difficult team to play against. They made it very difficult for us last time out. And Kazakhstan will provide its own challenge. So we know every game will be tough.
Do you still genuinely see yourself standing there when England walk out of France 2019 as the manager of England in this position that you're in now?
If I wasn't 100% committed to the journey we were on, then I wouldn't be here. You know, I couldn't stand in front of my players and talk to them about how hard we want them to work, how hard we're all going to need to work to get where we want to get to, if I wasn't 100% committed to helping this team win football matches.
Well, this is England's qualifying group, and Jess Fishlock scored the only goal of the game as Wales got their campaign off to a winning start in Astana on Sunday afternoon. Only the group winners are guaranteed a place in the finals in France, and the best 4 runners-up in the 7 qualifying groups go through to the playoffs. England have a tremendous record in qualifying over the last 15 years or so, never losing in qualifying. And this is the team Mark Sampson has chosen for the first game of their campaign. A couple of changes from the side that started against the Netherlands in that semi-final in Euro 2017. So any surprises in there for you, Rachel?
Well, Nikita Paris down the right-hand side, or maybe she'd be on the left, or between Tony Duggan and Nikita Paris, they might switch wings. You know, they're not regular starters, but they're very attacking players.
It's a very attack-minded side, isn't it?
It is. I like that. I mean, going on the European Championships, and I felt sometimes he's a little bit reserved in how he approached games, Mark Sampson. This is great to see players out there. Nikita Paris will bring so much. Former teammate of mine at Everton, she is a terrier. She's the type of player who you hate to play against because she's tenacious, she never stops, she nibbles at your ankles, she never stops talking in your ear as well. She's tenacious, she'll take chances from distance, a quality player who she's finding it hard to make a mark in this squad just because we have such a depth of quality forward players.
And he's obviously not afraid with his formation then to accommodate those attacking players. He doesn't necessarily see that somebody's an out-and-out striker. If he feels that they have got the attitude and they've got the game that he wants, he will make it work.
Yeah, certainly with Nikita, she can play central, she can play left, she can play right. Same with Tony Duggan. You know, he's got a formidable front line there with goals all across the line. What I like about Nikita is she's very direct. For a young kid, she's got bundles of confidence. She'll go at you 1v1. She's aggressive. She's rapid. She's got frightening pace, and she's a finisher too. She's a good goal scorer, especially in her league for Man City.
And maybe Mark including her in tonight's lineup. He's building for the future, the World Cup in 2 years' time. You have to start playing them now, gain the experience, and then they're ready.
Yeah, she's 23 years old. She got her first cap last year. So if you start a campaign, you would hope then that you're going to make it through that campaign, wouldn't you? Be interesting to see how she does. Well, the England starting lineup includes, of course, defender Lucy Bronze, who, along with striker Tony Duggan, has opted to ply her trade overseas this season. Duggan has joined Barcelona, and Bronze, the PFA Player of the Year, will play for the European champions, Lyon.
Players that I look at, like the Summer, Marazan, Aberley, Cummingide, they're so technical, and they probably technically are the best players in the world, just on technical ability, and learning off them every day and seeing how they move the ball and what they do. I think I'm going to learn a lot from them, and I know that already they're challenging me to push me to be better and telling me if something's not good enough, Lucy, it's not good enough. So I kind of like it so far, and yeah, it's really been a challenge.
Well, Tony Duggan, the first player since Gary Lineker to play for Barcelona, and of course Lucy Bronze going out there to the champions of Europe, which, you know, it says really big things about England's football, doesn't it, that these players are getting these opportunities. What will she gain? You've all played abroad, you understand what it's like to play in other countries. Kelly, what will she gain, do you think, from that experience?
For me, when I moved to the States, I moved to be a professional footballer because there was no professional league in England. So I learned how to train at the highest level I could. I learned about mentality. I learned how to push myself to limits that I wouldn't have probably learned in England because the league wasn't as successful then. I learned I got to travel the USA. It was just a fantastic opportunity, and it pushed me to all limits possible. And certainly for Lucy Bronze to go there, she's playing with some of the best players in the world. Like she said, Abeline, the Summer, who I think is fantastic, Marajon. These are top-level players that she will learn from technically, and it will only be develop Lucy and help England also.
I mean, she's playing with players now who have won World Cups, Kumagai, won Champions Leagues time and time again. You know, they are players who expect to win. You know, that is not a level that we as an England team have got to yet. Lucy has it at Manchester City. She's expected to win, but not at the very highest level. And playing alongside players who expect to win time in, time out, every single game, I think that is a new level of expectation, which will help the whole England team push on.
And I think what it does for Lucy, personally, it takes Lucy out of her comfort zone. She has to push on now and impress teammates that are international and world-class level. So she has to provide every day in training and make sure she's 100% and going all the time. So it's a great move for Lucy.
And that's aside from learning a new language. She already said that the head coach doesn't speak English and that she's having to get some translations from another coach and some of the players. When I went and lived and played in Iceland, that was a whole new culture, a whole new set of language that I learnt. And I think it...
How's your Icelandic now, Rachel?
Tack fyrir. Still picked up a little bit. But I think it does. It takes you out of your comfort zone off the pitch as well as on the pitch.
Absolutely. A really interesting experience for her, both off the pitch and on the pitch, and hopefully England will benefit from that. Well, one England player who's already benefited from playing around the world is Jodie Taylor. But tonight is a homecoming for the hat-trick hero from the Euros, who started her career at Tranmere Ladies alongside our very own Sue Smith.
Taylor through on the edge of the penalty area, loops it over the goalkeeper, and England have another. Through to Jodie Taylor, who has a hat-trick in England's opening game.
Did you realise that you were breaking all these records?
Not at all. Until after the game and they pulled me in front of the camera and told me. I had no idea no one had scored a hat-trick before on the female side. And to get congratulation messages and team good luck messages from both of them is pretty incredible.
Moving back a few years, obviously all the best players start at Tranmere Rovers, don't they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I would say go back a few. It's quite a few years going back.
Was that your first ladies team or girls team?
Yeah, it was. From age 11, going all the way through the age groups until I was about 15, and that's when I met you. When I first came along to the seniors to train. At 18, I made the decision to go to the States on a soccer scholarship. I went and played in Sweden, which was for Gothenburg. And it was a really good football environment. It was a step up. It was fully professional. It's probably the first time you could say fully professional. That was in 2013. And I think that was a turning point for me. I think that was the point when I realised I'm good enough to play for England. And when Mark came in and took over England, he called me in. And from there, you can say the rest is history.
Taylor could be in here. Takes it wide. Can she finish from here? Jodie Taylor. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. England lead 1-0.
I get asked the question all along about, you didn't get your first cap for England until you were 28. And
that's my next question.
Yeah, there you go. So I think, it was hard going through at the time, of course. And obviously sitting in the stands 4 years ago thinking I should be here. But at the same time, it's given me the opportunities and experiences that I never would have got if I was an England player when I was younger.
Is this the best squad you played with, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I've played for a lot of clubs and we've had some at club level, exactly. But yeah, this is one of the most talented groups I've worked with, but most importantly, the best close-knit group.
Can I just ask about your personal prep as well, the stuff that you do going into a game? Like, how will you prepare for the Russia game, for example?
I've found a lot of success in recent years from really analysing closely goalkeepers and centre-back players that I'm going to come up against. And take the Spain game, the clips I'd watched on the goalkeeper, she was really quick off her line. The goal I actually scored against her, I knew she was going to come, so I was able to just dink it over last second, which I think if I wouldn't have watched the clips, I might not have scored that goal.
So walking out at Prenton Park, how's that going to feel?
Oh, incredible. I feel like at home. I just remember as a kid going to watch the men's games all the time, being a ball girl. I feel like I've been on the pitch quite a lot and in and around the stadium, but never actually played there. So, yeah, to go back there playing for England, it's going to be a really special moment.
Yeah, born in Wallasey, made in these parts, but you've played alongside her at Arsenal. Tell us a bit about Jodie Taylor and what she brings, what's so special, her attributes.
Gabby, it is all about Jodie Taylor's movement. Playing in the same team with her, as her movement off the ball makes it so easy to find her. She's such a talented forward, and obviously her finishing as well. She's just so clinical in front of goal. And the thing with Jodie, she's had so many injuries that's made her so diligent. She knows her body. She knows what she needs to do to be in optimal form, and which Kelly will tell you about because of Kelly's injuries as well.
Yeah, it's always difficult to come back from an injury, but to reach the levels that Jodie has in her short England career, because she wasn't really picked until a few years ago by obviously Mark Sampson, but I would have loved to have played in this England side with Jodie. You know, you can see, like Alex said, her movement is so good. She pulls off the shoulders of defenders, she's fast, she gets in behind, and she has this knack of just being in the right place when the ball's delivered. She sniffs out where the ball's going to be, and her finishing is so good. She doesn't necessarily strike so powerfully through the ball. It's a lot of like dinks, a lot of outside of the foot finishes, little chips over the block. She's got a vast amount of finishes to her game, which makes it so good.
As well, she's very selfless. The amount of running Jodie Taylor does for other players to get on the ball, and that's rare in a forward.
That's why you'd like to play her.
And interesting, we talk about Nikita Parris and the start of her international journey, really. She's only been playing for a year for England, and then you've got somebody 31 years old. It's going to be this 2 years to stay fit in this campaign and be a part of that team when they qualify for France, hopefully. That's going to be a different set of challenges for her.
It is. But Jodie Taylor, she's made reference to her age, but she feels like she's still 25, 26 years old. The way that she's come back from her injuries, but the how she actually manages her injuries now, manages her fitness. She's very, very diligent with that, and so she's still got, I think, at least another 5 years. Certainly World Cup and the Euros.
A lot of Jodie's performances and how good and the level that she's been is the belief that Mark Sampson has in her. He's put a lot of faith in her. You know, in Canada in 2015, she was coming off of is it an ankle or an Achilles injury, knee injury, and you know, he put faith in her. She probably wasn't 100% fit, but she was there. She was number one.
Well, the teams are about to make their entrance. Time for some final thoughts from these three Lionesses.
Very focused, chilled, relaxed. You'll probably see the passion come out if it needs to.
The focus that I have and the concentration when I do play for England is that much higher, and I think the pressure's that much higher as well.
Ultimately, we got to put on a performance and make sure we start this qualification off with a win.
Well, in just over half an hour, Northern Ireland and the Republic face each other in Lurgan. That game is on the BBC Red button. But here, the World Cup and European Championship semi-finalists, England, are about to start their qualifying campaign. Russia are the visitors, and after a summer of accusations and inquiries, it's time for some football in the company of Jonathan Pearce and Sue Smith. Good evening.
Thanks, Gabby. Good evening, everyone. A tough opening qualifier for England, possibly the most difficult of Mark Sampson's reign, and it has been a most fractious build-up for the England manager, with those accusations ringing in his ears, but the FA's declared support for him something of a comfort. I can tell you he has been hurt deeply by all of this. Now the focus will be, though, and has to be, on this match alone, as the players come out in front of an anticipated 5,000 crowd at Prenton Park. England unbeaten in 50 qualifiers over 14 years, and Russia have lost 8 of their last 11 matches, but tonight's visitors beat Italy in the Summer Europeans and pushed both Sweden and Germany very hard. And one presentation that we expect to happen before the anthems, presentation for Jodie Taylor, local girl, hero to so many of those young girls you've just seen, and about to pick up the golden boot for finishing top scorer in the European Championships in the summer with her 5 goals from 4 games. She really has matured into a very fine international goal scorer. She does play in the next Europeans and gets 1 more goal. She will be in the top 6 of all-time scorers. What a night for her, so.
Oh, what a night, and so well deserved. And what it says about Jodie Taylor, when I asked her about that individual accolade, she spoke about the team and wished that they could have gone on and won the European Championships. That's the type of person that she is.
Here come the anthems. Fomina, the head coach of Russia, singing powerfully and passionately. She's only 38. She played for Russia herself. Mark Sansom names a 4-2-3-1 formation for England. Chamberlain in for the injured Barton, of course, for a 47th appearance in goal. Duggan has got off to a bright start with Barcelona, scoring on her debut to earn a start, along with Nikita Parrish and Fran Kirby supporting the local girl Jodie Taylor there, who scored 28 goals in 39 games for Tranmere, but never played here, as you've heard. Scores of friends and family here, though, for her, too.
Absolutely loads, and you know what's really funny? She did actually play here. She's completely forgotten about the fact she played in the semi-final that I was injured for, and she scored a goal. So I'm not sure how she's forgotten that.
Did they win the semi-final?
They did win it.
With you missing injured?
Yeah, well, yeah.
There you are. 8 of the Russians started their final group match in the summer. Of the other 3, Savidovic missed the Europeans, but is an experienced former captain of the side. Kovalenko wasn't picked for Holland, but is among 5 CSKA Moscow players in the team. Fedorova was used as a sub in the championships. Danilova up front, meanwhile. She's the main danger with 7 goals from 8 in the Russian league this season. She's second highest scorer in the Russian league. And watch out for Elena Moritsova. She plays in a deep lying role, but she will come forward from there. She has 20 goals at international level, and she scored in the European Under-19 final win of 2005. The Russians victorious in that final. You saw them in the summer, didn't you? And quite impressed.
Yes, I did, and I do think that this will be England's toughest game in the group, although I'm sure Wales will pose some threats, but they're strong, they're physical, they're direct, and you can see that England have selected quite an attacking side, and I think that's just so that they can break down a Russian side that's going to sit back and be quite compact.
Well, Mark Sampson brought Jordan Nobbs into the central midfield role late on against Holland, and I thought they were a much better side with her in there.
Totally, and I like her in there. I think she's better centrally. I think she can get on the ball more. She links up so well with Fran Kirby and Jodie Taylor. She's a very intelligent player, will look to get on the ball, and then you've got the cover of Jade Moore. She
was a very intelligent player in her day, by the way. The Russian head coach, over 100 caps for Russia, and captained the side. And they reached the quarterfinals of World Cup 2003. There's the referee. A substitute referee, actually, by the way, Stephanie Frappard of France. Original referee, Bibiane Steinhaus of Germany, picked up an injury. England with an attacking lineup. They need to get off to a good start here for many, many reasons. To start the group, and also just to put pay to a few tensions running around because of these allegations. As Alex Scott was saying beforehand, it's difficult to avoid polarising opinion on this, but you know, both sides have their point of view, and the FA new inquiry will sort things out. You can see the hurt in Mark Sampson's eyes, I can tell you that. And off we go. And here's the captain. Start of England's World Cup qualifying campaign that took them to 3rd place in Canada. And it seems like yesterday. And now they throw in for Russia, who, as I say, reached Euro 2017 but didn't get beyond the group stage, and they reached the semi-final of the World Cup in 2003. They haven't been there since, by the way. They lost 7-1 to Germany. This is a different Russia these days, and this is going to be a very tricky evening. A lovely evening, by the way, very mild. There's Demi Stokes and Steph Houghton. It's intercepted there by Anna Polovkaga. Clear towards Taylor. And here's Nobbs. And Duggan starting on the left-hand side. It's just cut out by Sivutovic lobs quickly onto it. Here's Duggan. Danny Stokes on the outside. Didn't take a long to score in her Barcelona debut. Duggan's played 2 games so far, both wins. And will be brought away then by Yaga again. Continued by Millie Bright. And quickly onto it is the right back, Ksenia Kovalenko. Glancing header there by Bright. Just a word on the captain, Steph Horton. She's got the group together in the dressing room after these troubled days of tensions, hasn't she?
Yeah, and that's what she's really good at. She is a real leader, both on and off the field, and I think you look to your captain, especially when you're maybe a young player coming into the squad, to just settle things down and say, this is about football, this is about our game, you know, our first World Cup qualifier, we need to start well, and she's done that ever so well.
There she is. Horton's 91st cap for England. And Millie Bright, what a year she's had. 11 starts in the last 13 England games. Was one of the stars of the European Championships, I felt.
She really was, and it's about when you're given an opportunity as a young player, you've got to take it, and that's exactly what she did. She's so mentally strong. It didn't matter what game she was going into. She just played as she's always played and really did well in the Euros.
Good evening for Nikita Paris. There's a chance to break through as a regular England player in this World Cup qualifying campaign. Inevitably, some of the old guard will drop away as the 2-year campaign meanders its way.
Yeah, and he'll be looking to players like Nikita Paris to come in and like Millie Bright, stake a claim, and she's definitely got the ability to do that. She's shown that for Manchester City on numerous occasions.
Here's Jordan Nobbs. Duggan, Kirby, and slip it through to Taylor. That movement with Jodie Taylor. Put forward by Jade Moore, who's so consistent for England. Had another good major championship, was really significant in the World Cup finals in Canada. Played away by Kovalenko. I thought she might have started left back, but she's on the right-hand side. And this is Ekaterina Sokhneva. Once again to Kovalenko, one of the CSKA players. She played 3 games in qualifying but didn't make the final squad. League football about to start again for these England Lionesses. Lucy Bronze and Tony Duggan are already underway abroad. There's a run forward there from a deep position by the blonde-haired Elena Morozova. There she is now on the shoulder of Frank Kirby. That is going to be a hugely important tussle between the two of them.
Frank Kirby needs to remember her defensive responsibilities.
But what she can do, Sue, is draw the veteran defender in or defensive midfield player in and win free kicks like that.
Yeah. No, you're right, that's exactly, you know, Jade Moore, that's what she does so well. She just protects the ball, but Frank Kirby, such quick feet, and if she can move the ball quickly, she'll just get a free kick every time.
Made a debut against England, Morozova, 14 years ago. There's Duggan, who scored against the Russians in the past, and Nikita Paris will have a go from there. Looks for Taylor. By injuries, as we were hearing in the build-up. That's why she's only won the 29 international caps for England, but she has 14 goals in that time. Travelled around gaining the experience, 14 clubs in 15 years. Jodie Taylor now settled at Arsenal. Important header won there by Bronze. Duggan will learn a lot from playing at Barcelona. And will culturally expand her horizons. Comes from across the Mersey.
She's absolutely loving it as well. just everything about it, but the football especially, and the fact that, like you said, on a debut she went and scored a goal straight away. That's the instant impact that you want.
He's bright. Of course, you're not from very far away, are you? Local girl yourself.
I am. Rainhill, yeah. Didn't take too far.
I saw a lot of the publicans closing their doors when you arrived. Free kick to Russia.
It does bring back really good memories, though, travelling into the ground today. Such a good place, a real family atmosphere of a club, and that's why myself and Jodie Taylor played here for so many years.
Great affection for Tranmere Rovers in this part of the world. A lot of Evertonians come here, don't they, when Everton aren't at home? A lot of Liverpool fans likewise. Second team for
Definitely,
most people.
Yeah, I still look out for all the results, as does, I'm sure, Jodie.
On the away end, England are defending that, by the way, in the first half, strangely. It's called the Cowshed. Very famous in football supporters' folklore.
Oh.
Here's Duggan, lovely little flick. And she was held back, and the referee's done well there. Kovalenko out with a washing. And here's Millie Bright. Jade Moore gets through a heck of a lot of work for England unnoticed. Here's Taylor. Now back to Kirby. Oh, it hit a hand. It certainly hit the hand there of Anna Koshnikova, the captain of Russia. From close range, hand was low down. Russia break and take an important intervention by Steph Horton to tidy that up. Lobs over the top now. This is the pace of Kirby beginning to tell for England. She's in behind the goalkeeper to the edge of the penalty area. And did well enough. Got a little bit fortunate with the spin back so she could pick it up, but Tatiana Cheva.
Yeah, that's where England can catch them. I know they're playing really nice, neat football, 1- and 2-touch passing, which is great to see. And when they move the ball quickly, I think this is the effort where Frank Kirby, that's a handball. That's a penalty for me. I know it was close range, but I think she moved the hand.
Yeah, I thought the hand was lower down initially, but it wasn't. It was around about midriff high. But England have got on with it. No belly aching, no flamboyance or theatrics. If you are new to women's international football, it is a feature of the game. Don't often see the same sort of descent as you get in the men's game. I have to say they don't play the rarefied pressure that the men have to play these days. But it is refreshing nonetheless. And I think I counted 3 players diving in the whole of the European Championship finals. Here's Duggan, meanwhile, for England. Perhaps wanted the ball played, now gets it, and look at Lucy Bronze off and running. One of the best in the world at that. Although Lyon, allegedly on their website when they signed her, they said we've signed the best left-back in world football. Oops. She has played on the left, started the World Cup campaign, didn't she?
Yeah.
Left midfield.
She can play anywhere. I think she's gone to Lyon to try and improve technically, she said, but she's definitely, I would say, one of the best right-backs in the world.
Let's see this again, Sue.
Yeah, that's a definite penalty for me. It's the fact that she moves a hand towards the ball.
England very mobile in central midfield. Good pairing in there. Jordan Nobbs has a little bit more freedom to bring it out. It's on the edge of the centre circle there with the fair ponytail, and just behind her. So Jade Moore will just sit in there. With the freedom to carry. She gets more involved in that position, sees more of the ball into Kirby. Stolen away from her by Ksenia Sibucevic. Now Duggan. And using good width early on, mainly Duggan on the left, and the runs of Lucy Bronze up from fullback on the right. She's over there again if Nobbs chooses her place into Kirby. Good movement on the edge of the penalty. Kirby, and they're looking for parachuting opportunity. Gets the goal. England are ahead. Nikita Parrish runs straight to the England manager, Mark Sampson. That is significant. A very significant moment. That is the togetherness of a group. And he is visibly moved by it.
Yeah, you can see exactly how much that means to him, but what good play from England. When you're playing against a team, they're sitting back and defending and making it really tight and compact. You have to move the ball quickly. That's exactly what England do there. Nikita Parris, great first touch out of her feet. Frank Kirby initially setting up, but good touch out of her feet, and she sort of just towies the ball into the bottom corner. You can't beat a towie.
Old-fashioned toe plonk, and it went in. Look at that, though.
Brilliant.
That was a statement goal celebration. And here is Millie Bright, Stokes. Norton guides it poorly through to Nikita Parris. She puts herself under pressure sometimes, the England captain. She didn't have her best tournament in the summer in the Netherlands, but she's a real winner, very ambitious. That's why she was picked as captain. I just think sometimes she's a bit hard on herself and maybe tries a little bit too hard there to force the issue.
I think because she knows she's got the ability to do that long crossfield ball. Sometimes maybe she does it when it's not needed.
John Moore rarely gets the headlines, but does such a good job for England.
Just protects that back four. It's a real selfless task, isn't it? She does it so well. I think when you've got two full-backs that like to get forward as well, you need that holding midfielder.
Duggan. And here then by experienced Morozova. Scored against Italy in the summer. That win. Jimmy Stokes. He didn't get forward with the same sort of freedom as she normally does in Holland. Kirby's started well here tonight. And she's great ball. She's put Taylor through, and England have a second. Oh! Well, you couldn't make it up. Jodie Taylor, local girl, gets England second. What a superb start this is. England 2. Russia 0, and the home girl comes back and gets the goal.
Absolutely fantastic from Frank Kirby again. That's her second assist. Just it's her vision. She knows where the play is. Good movement from Jodie Taylor. She's so clinical in front of goal. There's only when she's 1v1 with the goalkeeper, you know what she's going to do. She's going to score. Excellent first touch. Sees the goalkeeper comes out, and I don't want to say, but I think it's another toe poke. They've been practicing them, haven't they?
So 6 in 5 games now for Jodie Taylor. Picks up the golden boot back at her old Prenton Park and gets the second goal of the night. There have been awkward days for him and his coaching staff, but you can just feel the togetherness of the team here. I also have to say, you saw the pain written on Eni Aluko's face in those clips of the interviews we saw earlier on, and you know her well. She's an effervescent, bubbly character. They will need to sort this out.
Get it, Claudia!
Great pain on both sides.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well, when something happens within a squad, it does sometimes unite you, and that seems to have done that to the England players tonight, because they've started so well. That there is a real togetherness there that you could see throughout the Euros. And it just seems to have brought them even closer together.
Gordon obviously leaving it there for Jane Moore, who whipped him with a challenge and caught Elena Danilova. She just started playing now, Fedorova, as a substitute in the summer. Just 71 minutes of the European final. Lucy Bronn, strong carry from a strong character. Tony Duggan, really effervescent tonight. Tony Duggan, a little bit of a point to prove. She only started one of the games in the European finals. Where England just ran out of steam, Sue, didn't they? They were so intense for so many of the games, and they had nothing left once Holland had taken the lead.
They did, and speaking to the players after that game, they were absolutely devastated because they knew that that was a real opportunity to go and win the European Championships with all of the big teams going. And they know that they didn't perform. They know that the Netherlands are a very good team, but a team that they can beat on their day.
So Kirby rolling into the penalty area and away from it. She started the game so brightly as well, but not there. Ball may have bobbled slightly, but she is a talent now coming to full maturity. She burst into the scene in such a startling way in the World Cup finals. The mini Messi, she was called by the manager after she scored in Canada against Mexico, I seem to remember. So she's been off the boil periods for England since then. She had the injury, but she started brightly tonight.
I think the fact she'd come back from injury at Chelsea and she'd been out for a good number of months, and I wondered how she would perform in the spring series. She was fantastic. I think she ended up top goal scorer, and that's what she's got. She's got the ability to score goals, but also the ability to create them, as we've seen tonight.
Here's Duggan. Too curvy, too much zip on the pass. I think she enjoys playing in that position just off the main strike.
Yes, again, she can get on the ball and make things happen, but I've just been so impressed with the movement of the front line.
And out by Horton, over putting pressure on. Also Katarina Sukneva, the number 11 from CSK, very experienced player. Already at that tender age. Here's Van Kirby, bounces to Taylor, she'll shoot from there, will she? What about it? Delayed. Chance is gone. Don't often see that from her.
Russia actually defended that quite well. They closed the initial opportunity down quickly, but Fran Kirby there again, just in between the defence and the midfield, that little space in between. She gets the ball and straight away her body's open to go forward, sees the pass.
Good start by England. Bright, inventive, lots of good movement. Here at Yestinova from the Roshianka club. He's come back from a loan spell in the European finals, the left back. And there for Sukneva. He's been at 3 European finals now with Russia. Duggan. Is Paris available? Oh, lovely quick feet. And another suspicion of handball against the same player. Kozhnikova, the tall captain. I have to see it again. My first reaction was that it looked like handball. Not an appeal though. Here's Frank Kirby. He's fantastic. With Taylor's cut out there. It's going to be a free kick. Should be a yellow card. Going to be a yellow card for Ksenia Sivatovic, who looks a bit cumbersome in there.
Yeah, she really does. The Russians just can't cope with England's movement, the way they're interchanging positions, the pace of the forwards. They've been excellent, and they've done everything that you need to do when you're playing against a team that's going to sit back.
She scored against England in the European finals of 2009, but she's now 30. She missed the finals in the summer. Back for the first qualifier of the new campaign. 57 internationals for Russia, but she's looking a little bit worn around the edges. And England have a free kick in a very good position for the captain. Jordan Obstman, you can slam them. She scored a remarkable goal in the under-19 final back in 2009. Lots of the England players came through that team. Horton, the captain, there around the wall. Oh, it's bending deliciously, but not quite far enough.
That was close. I thought that was just going to creep in, and I thought Steph Horton might pull rank there as captain, saying, this is my range. Just hit the stanchion at the back. This is lovely, quick feet from Nikita Paris, and I don't think that was probably as much of a handball as the first one, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't a handball. Referee got it right. I got it wrong.
I didn't want to say.
Not the first time, won't be the last, so. Bronze gives chase. And for Sukneva. and simply too strong, too good. He's turned it into trouble though. Jordan Nobbs needs to win that and does. And England have dealt with it well in the end. It's a good tackle though, the tall figure of Kushnikova. Here's danger. Qualifier towards Marina Fedorova, trying to get beyond Demi Stokes. On the sky by Millie Bright, whose family followed her around in the Netherlands. Spoke regularly to the BBC. Big fun group they were.
Sure they'll all be here tonight as well.
I was thinking about Demi Stokes walking away there. She didn't get forward as willingly as Lucy Bronze in those finals. Drew a little bit of criticism, but on the other hand, Lucy Bronze is so exceptional. You're always going to be seen in a lower light compared to Lucy Bronze because of the way she rampages forward.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when one fullback does go forward, maybe the other one has to be a little bit more defensive.
Well, Bronze gave that away. And Russia could build here, and then Danilova in the middle brings it back to Morozova, who's fouled by Jordan Nobbs. And this is what Morozova will do. She will break forward from deep positions. There's 20 international goals from 94 games with Russia. Approaching the midway mark in the first half. 11 is Sokneva to the left of it. Morozova is in there, so too Sivucovic, who's moved up from the back, wearing 19. Who's going to take it? Smirnova. Kushnikova standing over the ball, the captain, with Morozova there to her right-hand side. I think it's going to be Sokneva. No, it isn't. She runs over it. And it's hammered, just maybe touched over the bar. Sivucovic hit it. No, Siobhan Chamberlain read it well, goal kick.
This was a good strike of the ball. Hit it really cleanly. Oh, I don't know if Siobhan Chamberlain did get a touch. They'd give a goal kick, but if she didn't, she certainly had it covered.
An international goal to her name. Goal against England. Nobbs. Here's Horton. England playing confidently on the edge of their own box. It is a risky game. By Kushnikova. Nobbs. And now Horton. Against the side ranked 25th in the world. England ranked 3rd by France, who they'll meet in a friendly in October. Bronze away towards Nikita Paris. England throw. Lucy Bronze, now based in France, will be playing presumably for England if she's still in the team at Valenciennes on October the 20th against France. The FA just releasing details of that. Again by Kirby. Bronze in towards Taylor. Handball. Again Kirby, lovely quick feet.
Yeah, she's been excellent. She started this game really, really well. But Lucy Bronze there just showed exactly what she can do and exactly what we were talking about. You know, when she gets the ball and she just glides past players, you can see the crowd get on their feet.
Too short, Shirley Taylor was trying to do there. Siobhan Chamberlain came into the side in the Europeans and stayed in after the injury to Karen Bardsley. And come on for her in the World Cup against Canada in Vancouver. Pressurised situation and did well. Here's Jodie Taylor. Ksenia Kovalenko. Russia trying to find some movement up front, but there was none coming from Danilova. Duggan, just a little flick maybe off Kovalenko for an England throw. 22-year-old wearing 22. Jordan Nobbs breezes there beyond Smirnova. Duggan. Oh, good cross, really lovely cross, looking at Nikita Paris. Headed away by Zjastinova, the left back, but it was a beautiful cross.
Yeah, that's what you've got when you've got a right footer playing on this left-hand side. She can cut in and whip a ball in like that, or have a shot herself, but lovely ball.
She started brightly. Tony Duggan. 55 minutes already under her belt for Barcelona. She scored on her debut against Zaragoza. Jordan Nobbs, England's vice-captain. Oh, the captain is on the edge of the penalty and making a run now. Paris goes near post. Duggan is first to it, to Kirby. And here's Demi Stokes. Jane Moore making the angle for the pass. Duggan, this is good football by England under a little bit of pressure. Russia pressing the ball well. A little bit of space for Moore. Tidy passes, 5-10 yards. 2-3 touch football, keeping the ball moving quickly. Here's Nikita Parrish. And that's all the way through. That wasn't a good final ball in, but they've played well in these opening 27 minutes.
Yeah, and it's clearly something that Mark Sampson's worked on with his team in this preparation, that move the ball quickly, keep it going, whether you're running with it quickly or whether you're just passing the ball 1 and 2 touch, because you have to do that when you're playing against a team like this. You haven't given Russia a chance.
59th game in charge, looking for his 38th win. He's the manager since Sir Alf Ramsey to take the senior side to 2 major semi-finals. There's Kirby. Bad challenge, strong challenge it was by Civitovic. Nudge forward by Fedorova. Qualifier. Lucy Bronze had to dovetail in behind Horton, who knew she was coming. Nothing to be alarmed about there in the defending country. That's a lovely touch by Taylor. Here's Duggan. Jordan Nobbs making a good run through the middle. Duggan's held on to it though. Went for goal. Not the right option.
No, I don't think it was the right option. I think she had a player to her left, one to her right, but can't blame her. I think when you're cutting in like that and you're on your favoured foot and you can see the goalkeeper slightly off the line, can't blame her for having a go.
Lovely enthusiastic feel about Prenton Park tonight. Crosses of St George flattering all around the place. And the pitch squeals of joy from the younger supporters and from the co-commentator. Horton. There's Bronze. Well, that's a good run by Nikita Parrish. She was pulled back cynically by Zjastinova.
You can see her first touch is just forward, makes it difficult for the defender. So quick and direct, and probably that's the only thing she needs to work on is her final ball. But so far it's been okay. She's only give that one cross which was slightly out.
If this is a quality ball, England can score. Looking for the run-in by Millie Bright. But Akeisha heads in there. Picked up first by Lucy Bronze. Quickly around the corner. Kirby. Oh, that hit a hand. That's a penalty. Yeah. That's a penalty this time. And it's going to be a card for Civitovic. And it's a second, of course. So she's off.
Again, good play from England. Steph Horton this time, and lovely quick turn from Frank Kirby. It's a tough one because she's facing away from the ball and it's so close to her, but it does hit her arm. I still think the first one was more a penalty. And whether she had that in her mind, the referee, when she made the decision.
What's the shot going into the back of the net from the England player? Might have been in the referee's mind. I think it would have gone in. But she was turning away, hit her hand. Anyway, it's Frank Kirby on the half-hour mark. She's played delightfully well. Deserves a goal. Denied it. And so too was Lucy Bronze on the follow-up. It really wasn't a very good penalty, but the 19-year-old full honours to share back with the save.
She deserved this goal, Fran Kirby, because she's been outstanding, but again, not the best penalty there. Needed to be more in the corner. Made it too easy for the goalkeeper.
I'm sure when she looks back on that one, a little bit later on, she'll realise it was a shocker. It wasn't a good penalty at all. Right in there for Millie Bright and Ksenia Kovalenko. Russia will have to make a substitution. They've lost the centre back. They'll have to take a forward off. Otherwise England could run right. Here's Nobbs. All the goalkeepers done well to claw that away. It was fouled in there. Nikita Paris was closest to her. He's holding her face. Let's have a look, see.
Yeah, I think as the ball's whipped in, Nikita Paris goes up. You can't really see from the angle that we're watching, maybe from this angle a little bit more as the goalkeeper goes up, whether she gets a hand in the eye or finger in the eye. I'm just making it up now. It certainly looks painful.
When he came into the side in March, it was probably her best moment so far. Conceded 5 in the European Championships. That's for the Kubanochka club. She's a little bit disoriented. She's okay now. Club 5th in the Russian league, just below halfway. Certainly a fine evening for her coach. She's going to make the substitution. It's going to be Anna Belomitseva who will come on, and Anna Qualifier is sacrificed, playing in a supported midfield role, one of the 4 in there. Rosyanka players, and on comes the substitute then. Belomitseva will be pushed into defensive duties. Slotted in there at centre back, in normal position. And then throw. Just rushed a little bit. So this is Kozhnikova. Sad that for Savutovic that she was sent off. She's got too much international football in her days left. In her 30s. Here's Lucy Bronze meanwhile. It's a poor clearance away. Shmirnova. England's getting back there at Sokhneva. Just standing her up. Diving in, sensible play. Justinova looks for the return, the left back goes on and gets it. Nikita Paris running with her, and simply done. Held the running line, was the faster, fitter, stronger player, goal kick.
England just need to make sure that they remain knowing what their jobs are, and they're not sloppy in possession. There's been a couple of times they just give the ball away needlessly. I think sometimes you go 2-0 up, there's a player sent off, you relax a bit. You just need to remain focused like they have been in the opening 30 minutes or so.
Here's Stokes. Bright into Duggan, a little bit of trickery there. At the end at Kovalenko. And by Danilova. Pressure now on Shmirnova to get up in support because they're down to 10. Paris turning into space and allowed to do so. Russia are stretched here. Paris looking for Duggan, just cut out. Valuable clearance away, but it might bounce to Kirby yet. Eased away by the right back who'd been drawn across into the middle at Kovalenko. Lucky for Russia she was. well in command. Just as Sue was saying, a little bit sloppy in possession. Here's Stokes. Kirby, back from Duggan. Kirby into the box. Can she finish this time? She picks out Jordan Nobbs, who does with glee. A really good goal by England. Ryan Kirby is absolutely superb tonight. 10 minutes left in the half, it's 3-0.
The only thing that Fran Kirby hasn't done is score a goal, because she set all three up. Absolutely fantastic again. It's her vision. She always wants the ball straight away. She's giving and going, and she's looking up. She could shoot there, but she doesn't. She sees Jordan Nobbs, and Jordan Nobbs, good first touch. You think, could she have took that first time? But actually the decision to take a touch, just bend it round the goalkeeper. Fantastic. 3 excellent goals from England. Really well worked.
And we said before, haven't we, if there is a criticism of Jordan Nobbs, who is such a good player for England, is that she can score more goals. She has a handful to her name. That is, what, just 6 in 48 internationals now. But she, with Jade Moore protecting, has the ability and certainly the engine to get up into those sort of positions.
And it's so difficult to mark those late runs into the box that she does on a regular basis. It's just the players finding her. They certainly did just then.
It was a movement of real cohesion by England after not the best of spells. Here's Duggan. Looks brighter. Really looked quite haunted earlier on in the evening, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. I think those goals probably settled his nerves slightly, because it was quite a big ask. Obviously everything that's going on surrounding the game, but also the fact that they didn't perform in that Netherlands game. And I know they've reviewed that, they've tried to put that to bed, and now this is their new focus.
Lionesses and the management staff have come into a new age where everything they do is now under scrutiny. Well, the pressure will build on them. I hope it doesn't change them as individuals. They still remain as approachable to those in the media, but it's far more importantly to the supporters, and they are very approachable. Here's Taylor in behind but offside. But they're going to have to get used to more and more media coverage. There's a lot of journalists here tonight that wouldn't normally be here, that have picked up on England because of events in recent days.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, JP, and I think a lot of the girls, it's probably been a bit of an eye-opener for them, because the game is getting better. There is more media coverage, and they now have to be careful with their actions, what they say, and it is getting very similar to in the men's game, where everything is scrutinised.
Chamberlain. For all the England players, she would probably know Mark Sampson the best, because she was down at Bristol Academy with him as a player, and he took them to 2 cup finals. Jordan Nobbs. Good movement by Taylor running behind the line, but she timed it well. Stokes with the cross, lovely movement, and it was the flying England right back who got in there as well, into a centre forwards position. Lucy Bronze, no power behind the header, but it was a lovely move.
Yeah, and that's where she finds herself on so many occasions. As a centre forward, she knows that she's got the energy to get back when she needs to.
Russia look for Danilova. Flag is raised. She looks dispirited.
Such a difficult task when you're up there on your own and you're trying to wait for support.
They won the European under-19s back in 2005. She was a top scorer. She was the best player. Reached the semi-final the year later. She scored 7 men, 16 in 2 European final tournaments, back-to-back summers. Prenton picked a pass. Kirby might have been up with the play there. To Shmyanova now for Russia. Bronze, another buccaneering run. Look at this. And it took a rather cynical foul and a yellow card for Shmyanova.
They're just too quick for the Russian players.
Very cynical. We've had one red card in the game, and it wouldn't surprise me if we have another before the end. Paris again finding a yard or two of space. Bronze likewise looking for Taylor to pressurise the goalkeeper. If in doubt, get it out. That's what she did. And without her, England would have had 5 tonight.
Yeah, they would. I think she made a mess of that one. I think she probably could have come and just claimed that. Lucy Bronze was looking for Jodie Taylor to come in.
Yeah, I suppose she's seen the European top scorer coming.
True.
At her eye. Now here's Jordan Nobbs. That's another chance. Tight skills. Oh, a little bit of a slip. Duggan. And it's smashed away by the substitute centre-back, Benelmet Seaver. Tammy Stokes. Tall ball in field. Now Danilova. And away from Millie Bright. And a save to make for Siobhan Chamberlain. Easy save it was.
It was a poor strike, but you can see that that's what she'll try and do when she gets the ball. She'll take shots from distance.
Liverpool player. Across the river. Millie Bright. Keita Paris. And Jordan Nobbs. So that's lovely England third. John Aldrich would have been proud of the finishing. Tranmere legendary goal scorer. There's a lounge named after him here. Bright. Duggan. And she slipped into the penalty area, brilliantly done and thwarted by the goalkeeper.
Great feat here from Tony Duggan. 2-3 players around her. You can see what she's trying to do. She's trying to just poke the ball just underneath the goalkeeper.
Very early days, I know she's only played a couple of games, but you can see what a difference being in Barcelona has made to her. She seems brighter as an individual.
Yeah, she does. It just gives you that bit of confidence and the change, the training. It's been quite tough training in the sun.
Comes out towards Bronze. Oh, terrifically done. Probably the best of the bunch. 4-0 England. A dominant first half. They brushed away the cobwebs of the European semi-final defeat in splendid style.
What a strike that is. She made it look so easy, but this is a difficult technique. As the ball comes out to her, she manages to control it so that she's able to strike the ball really cleanly. Ends up top corner. Fantastic from Lucy Bronze. She said she wanted to go to Lyon to improve technically. Whether she's been doing that, shooting practice at Lyon, that was fantastic.
And a couple in the World Cup finals against Norway and Canada. Goals have been at a premium since then, but that's a splendid fourth for England on the night. And they look for a fifth here, Jodie Taylor in behind. Now, I know they're not playing France, as they will be in that autumn friendly, or Germany, or the likes of the Netherlands here, but they are playing a country ranked in the top 30, 25th in the world, with 2 minutes in the stoppage time, by the way. And Russia were very, very well organised in the summer. His team did their homework, his team have studied them. Germany only beat them by 2, Sweden beat them by 2, they beat Italy. This is a very good England performance.
A really good England performance. I thought it was going to be really tight and maybe one goal in it.
come and look for another one. Taylor in behind, and the header on. No finish with the left foot. One header over the top by Millie Bright, I think it was, put England through. She's made a couple of saves, one from the spot. England could have had 6 or 7. Amy Stokes will try and win that. Duggan. England heading for 17th home qualifying win in a run of 18 games. And if it stays like this, they'll have, was it 25 home clean sheets in 26. There's Stokes now. Duggan in the middle, Taylor in there, Paris coming in. She got the first. Taylor and Nobbs, and then Lucy Bronze. And here she is. She's been nominated for World Player of the Year, of course. And it won't be long if she continues this upward curve before she's winning it.
She just seems
to get, award.
Yeah, she seems to get better and better every season. She's developing as a player.
That's poor though. Jordan Nobbs, not for the first time, put under a bit of pressure. And the half-time whistle blows. Sue, your overall thoughts?
I think it's an excellent half for England. I think they've got to be really pleased with. You can see that Mark Sampson's put in certain ways to play, and they've actually executed everything perfectly.
Paris, Taylor, Nobbs and Bronze, a quartet of England goal scorers. They're in command at half-time, 4-0 up.
Well, that's how you start a World Cup qualifying campaign. What an impressive 45 minutes from Mark Sampson's women there. And I tell you what, Rachel, we talked about the attacking formation and how many outright forwards for their own clubs there were being kind of accommodated into that formation. When you're so secure in your back line, as he obviously is, that ability then to just say to those players, go and play, which they did in that half, was just really impressive.
Yeah, the focus of Mark Sampson's changes were in that forward line, and right from the off, they played the game in Russia's defending third, and what Fran Kirby did really, really well was get in between the back line and the midfield of the Russians, which meant it was very, very difficult for her to be picked up. And Jordan Nobbs as well. She was a very creative player who sits in front of the back four for England, who was picking the ball up, turning, and she was able to play the ball out to Tony Duggan down the left-hand side, Nikki Price down the right-hand side. And they basically had it all their own way, England.
Let's have a look at so many moments there, but so many goals to look at. Nikita Paris, we talked about the opportunity she's got here to really cement her place through this campaign, the young 23-year-old from Man City.
I'm so happy for Nikita Paris. She's such a lively character, so enthusiastic, always wants to learn, and she's so tenacious. So to the ability to get on a score sheet again, it's not the first time she's done it in an England shirt. I'm just so happy for her. She's had a great performance and a great first half for Nikita Paris.
Lovely little link-up play by Fran Kirby, but the little spin and the finish, the ability to just compose herself and not absolutely leather the ball, but just to place it in that far corner.
And look, Rachel, that celebration as well, that goes to when someone shows faith in you, as a player, you want to repay them, and that's exactly what that celebration is all about.
If you want a Team United,
he looks very, very moved, didn't he, Mark Sampson?
You just saw the little wink. He acknowledged that meant quite a bit to him. You know, Nikita Paris coming up and singling him out and giving him a hug. That was a special moment for Mark and for that England team.
And of course, Jodie Taylor steps up just a few minutes later then to show that this was going to be a performance to be reckoned with.
What I've been impressed with this half is the link-up play between Kirby and Taylor. Look at that little dink pass. Taylor just runs off the back of Konikova. And what I said in the pre-game talk is Jodie finishes with each part of her foot, the outside, the laces and the toe poke. And just the creative movement. As soon as Kirby turned then, Jodie knew that she was playing the ball through on and into the net.
And what we're seeing from the Lionesses this half, it's a team performance. I think you can pick out a number of players. Obviously, Fran Kirby being the architect of the whole first half. I think she's got, 3 assists, and she should have got on a score sheet herself. But she has been the main player in this first half.
And it could have been more. There were a couple of really good shouts for penalties. One was given, one wasn't. This is the first one, Kochnikova, which happened before the goals, actually, from Fran Kirby, not given.
Yeah, it's an outstretched arm. I don't think she actually moves the ball necessarily towards it, but it's in an unnatural position, if you want to quote the law. And yes, therefore, it should have been a penalty. Waved away this time by the referee. The girls persist. Lovely bit of interchange again this time. Frank Kirby. Is this a penalty? Yes, this is the one that was given.
Well, really sorry about this. Clearly we're having some problems with our connection to the Match of the Day studio. We will try and get back to the action just as soon as we can. Please do stay with us. This is BBC Two. Our apologies for the technical problems, but we can now return to England v Russia.
Post. Fantastic finish. Nice composure there by Jordan.
And this England team need Jordan Nobbs in the middle of the field. Her energy and what she brings, the ability to constantly want the ball and make things happen.
All the time as well. If you watch her, she's constantly moving people. She's a real boss there, isn't she?
So whether that's at the back, she's receiving the ball from the centre halves with Russian players, you know, with her back to Russian players, and she's got the presence of mind and the composure to lay it back, to maintain possession and to build up attacks.
And of course, Jodie Taylor. Who else then at the end of the half, just to really cement a very solid attacking 45 minutes for England.
This is what I like about England this time. In the Euros, they've always played the corners into the box looking for Millie right, but now they're looking to play short, and what a finish by Lucy Bronze. Great composure. You know, it wasn't cleared well by Russia, and the composure, just the first touch there, the thigh to get it down and then to lock her leg and get her head over the ball. You can see the curl on the ball in the top right-hand corner, and there you go. The celebrations are fantastic, because that was a quality finish by Lucy.
Rachel, I don't even think when you were playing you would stop that goal from Lucy.
I don't know. I mean, there wasn't a lot of pace on it, and she had time to get across like that. That's a good finish. I'll give it that.
And you were talking up that young goalkeeper beforehand, saying you were really impressed with her in the Euros. Let's not forget as well, this Russia side qualified for Euro 2017. You know, this isn't a side that England would look at in a fixture list and think they're going to walk over 4-0 in the first half. So they will go in there very, very pleased with that performance.
I've been disappointed with Russia. I don't know if England have been so good, but Russia are just sitting off England too much. They're giving them too much time and space. They're playing a 4-5-1. They're letting them dictate. If they'd done any research on this game, they'd know that Jordan Nobbs is the heartbeat. She wants to get on the ball. There's no one's closing her down, which is great for England. But if Russia want to make anything of the game with this, yes, they're a player down, 4-0 down. They have to get closer to England and stop them from turning and playing forward.
I mentioned there are very different half-time talks going on in those dressing rooms. Well, the new Women's Super League season starts on Friday night, just a few miles from here as the crow flies, in Widnes, as Everton ladies host their nearest rivals, Liverpool ladies. The FA have rung the changes for the new campaign. Sue Smith will tell us more.
After 6 seasons as a Summer League, the 2017-18 edition is set to become the first Women's Super League to run throughout the winter. So why the change? And how's that going to affect the clubs, the players, and who will be in the title race come May? Why have you made the decision after 6 summer leagues to change it to a winter league?
Because we were starting pot through the spring, we then have a break because the pitches all went into maintenance in May. Then we'd have another few games, and then we'd have a major championships, and then we'd have to start again. So it was all very, very stop-start. And we know fans were struggling in terms of how do I really follow this when there's no real momentum?
It's great to know that we're going to be playing regular games. But obviously with it competing a little bit with the men's side, I think we've just got to see how it goes with the fans.
It allows football fans from everywhere to just have a weekend full of football, and I think especially at Manchester City they can go and watch the men play on the Saturday and then come and watch us on the Sunday.
I'm absolutely convinced that we are keeping the momentum going and raising the fan base and people coming to the games. We've seen that growth year on year, and particularly when the international team do so well.
There is a new name on the WSL trophy, and it is that of Manchester City women.
Manchester City will again be the team to beat, but the 2015 champions Chelsea won the Spring Series earlier this year and are expected to be in the mix again this time.
We're in football to win, and we want to do well in every season. We've got a great team spirit, and I'm hoping it will come together and we'll do well this season.
It's easy to want to be the champions again, but we know that it's going to be tough. It's going to be a real competitive league, and that's what we play the game for, is for it to be competitive.
I think Arsenal are going to be a tough team this year.
I know the spring series was only short, but you know, we didn't lose a game. I think overall we've got a great competitive environment at the moment and brought in some great players.
While the WSL may appear to be thriving and competitive, the financial viability of the women's domestic game was thrown into question earlier this year when Notts County ladies folded on the eve of the spring series.
We are still finding it a real challenge, both at the league and the FA and the club level, to really engage and bring in commercial investment. We will get there, I'm sure.
Notts County's demise reduced the number of WSL 1 teams to 9, but we're back to a full complement of 10 after Everton were given the nod over my old club Doncaster to replace the Lady Pies.
We saw clubs moving on, going full-time, so for us to be full-time now and back in WSL 1, you know, obviously it means the world to me, it means the world to the club, and it's where Everton belongs.
Ultimately, it's going to be the performances of the teams to be able to drive fans to come and watch us more.
Hopefully, you know, after a good performance in the Euros and the development of the women's game, you know, fans are coming to watch, and we can really put on a good show for them.
So what are our thoughts then on the Winter League, as you're still involved on a day-to-day basis?
Gabby, I like the sunshine. No, I think Jordan highlighted, the thing is that we're going to be competing with men's football, so we might struggle for attendances, but I suppose it goes back to they wanted to align it because of the Champions League fixtures and make it easier for the players, and there'll be regular fixtures every weekend. But we shall see.
And the argument used to be, you know, 7 or 8 years ago, that this gave an opportunity for fans of the game generally to have a football, you know, a chance to see live football in the summer months when the men's game was gone, and it was a chance for the women's game to shine on its own. And now that's obviously not going to happen, and it's going to be competing directly with the men's game.
I'm a little bit fearful of it moving to the Winter League, if I'm honest. I think the women's game is mainly kids and families, and I can't see, you know, young parents wanting to bring their young kids out on a cold, windy, rainy afternoon on a Sunday. So I'm a little bit fearful. I hope I'm wrong, but yeah, that is my main concern. Of just when it gets cold, I don't see families coming out to support the game.
No, because I mean, as you said, they were the sort of USP of a summer league, and suddenly it seems to have, you know, all the reasons that we went to a summer league are the reasons why we're going back to a winter league. So well, I think we'll have to wait and see. It has to be a measured set of reasons why the FA have gone sort of a 180-degree turn about this, and I just hope it works.
So let's talk football then, and we hope it works, that people come out and they watch it as they have done and continue to grow the audiences. What's happened to Notts County has obviously been a bit of a wake-up call, hasn't it? And I think we'll get a lot of people thinking and discussing how commercially it can become a much more viable sport on the pitch. Who's strengthened, who's looking good, who do you think is going to win it?
I'd like to say Arsenal. Obviously, I'm going to say that, Gabby. No, we brought in a lot of the Dutch players. They've come back full of confidence, but you can never rule out the likes of Chelsea. They've also strengthened, and Man City. But it makes it a more exciting league for the fans.
Does it feel as competitive as it ever has to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like Alex said, it's Chelsea, Arsenal, City for me. They're the three main contenders. Chelsea have impressed me with their signings. Likewise with Arsenal, with the Dutch players coming in. They're going to play a real attacking, good style of football at Arsenal.
I hope so.
Yeah. But no, I think it's going to be a very competitive league, but one that I'm really, really looking forward to.
You'll be glad to see Everton back in there, Rachel.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think overall there's no doubt that the product that will be out there, this WSL, is the best product that we will ever have seen domestic football in this country. And, you know, Everton are coming, they've gone full-time since their promotion from WSL 2 to WSL 1 after the spring series. So they're in the best place that they can be. So hopefully it'll be a competitive league, and I just urge people to go out there and give it a try if they've not already watched it.
OK, well, you can hear the season opener between Everton and Liverpool on 5 Live Sports Extra on Friday night. Kick-off is at 7:45. Then on Sunday you can see the Spring Series champions Chelsea in action. Their first match of the campaign is against Bristol City, and that's going to be live streamed on the BBC Sport website from midday. On Sunday night, it's the first women's football show of the season, with highlights of all the opening games, and Rachel and Alex will join Aileen Barber for that at 11:30, an hour later in Scotland. And apparently we were completely oblivious to it, but you lost us for just a few seconds in that half-time analysis, and you will have missed in that moment Jordan Nobbs' very well-worked goal, and you can have another look at it here with Frank Kirby, who did so well, Rachel.
Well, we've watched it loads of times now because we've not dropped out, and it's beautiful play by Frank Kirby, who has the presence of mind to lay it back to Jordan Nobbs, touches it across and just has a calm and composed finish. Yes, outside of her right foot, and gives Sherbach in goal absolutely no chance. That's the third of the 4 goals for England.
Does a 4-goal cushion and Russia down to 10 men, do you think, give an opportunity for some changes? We shall see. Jonathan Pearce and Sue Smith take it away.
Thanks very much, Gabby. Out comes Mark Sampson then. The referee has both teams out on the field of play, and we await the nod to get underway again. A position of total dominance for England, but they can kick on and improve from the first half, where 1 or 2 passes went astray during a mediocre spell of no more than 5 or 6 minutes. But of course Russia are down to 10, as Gabby was saying, after the sending off of Savic. 2 bookables. The second conceded the penalty. England didn't take advantage. Any time now, please. Off we go. Christmas is coming. Now it's Lucy Bronze underneath that one. She should clear it away. Stabbed out by Moore and Morozova to the right back, Kovalenko. See more of the ball actually, Kovalenko. Now over the top by Moore. And seen early by Sherbach, the goalkeeper, who saved that penalty in the first half. Another couple of good stops from her as well, from Duggan, but that looks like a contented bench in there for England, who are 4-0 up. Just got a little shot in there of Lee Kendall, who's assistant to Mark, sitting down. That should be a foul throw. He's got an important part to play in the England setup, hasn't he? Because he's worked very, very hard over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think so, and he's probably got to, I suppose, arm round the shoulder of Mark Sampson as well as the rest of the team. So he's that probably link between the two, and he's done that for, like you say, a few years. They've brought in, like Marianne Spacey was in there originally. There's a lady in there, Gemma Granger now. So they have a lot of good staff members in and around that are helping keep this squad together and focused on the job at hand.
Danilova, good work there by the captain Steph Horton, and by Millie Bright. Here's Kirby, no it isn't. Slips through then to Belmatseva, the substitute centre half who came on after the sending on. Bronze got away with that one. She was fouled. Oh, she was fouled there. Oh, the referee didn't think so. Russia now attacking with the left back, Tsiastinova. Right-footed cross. Oh, and an effort on goal that wasn't bad at all. Lacked power, but it was a decent move up with the left back going on and crossing into Smirnova. Shot lacked power.
Yeah, it did lack power, but they just need to remain focused. Like you said earlier, we were being hypercritical, but there was 5 or 6 minutes where England just were a little bit sloppy with their passing. Stick to what you've been doing, because it's been working and it's been outstanding to watch.
It may sound strange, but I think Siobhan Chamberlain needs work to do, needs a couple of big saves to pull off to persuade the doubters that she can claim this #1 shirt for herself. More on that in a moment. Here's Nikita Paris, breezes beyond one, but not beyond Tsiastinova, and she's claiming a foul. She was fouled herself. Yeah, the goalkeeping situation. Who's going to be the England #1 heading into those World Cup finals in 2 summers?
That's a really good question, and I think that's what Mark Sampson's so pleased, the fact that he's got Siobhan Chamberlain, Karen Barsley, Carly Telford, Mary Earps even coming into the squad because of Karen Barsley's injury. And he's now got 4 very, very good goalkeepers. And yes, Siobhan Chamberlain probably needs a big save or a couple of big saves, but he knows exactly what she can do. She does well for Liverpool.
Jane Moore did well there, didn't she? She was having no nonsense. See you later with a challenge that brushed off the Russian player. Here's Nikita Paris. Taylor's in the middle. Arriving is Jordan Nobbs on the edge of the D. Pulled back here to Moore. Another sound display by her. Into Duggan. Tried to work it round the corner. It was blocked by Morozova. And up to Danilova. Quickly away. Now here's Natasha Smirnova, who's looked a little bit sluggish in her movement. Morozova, full first touch, invited the challenge from Duggan. Kovalenko. She's been one of their best players, the left back on the ball. Tony Duggan has torn past her a couple of times. Kirby. That's what England need to do now, Sue. Just get the passing rhythm going again. Gaps will appear in that Russian defence.
Yeah, and there's big gaps between the ranks, so between the defence and the midfield and the forwards. They're not getting up quick enough, so clever players like Frank Kirby, Jordan Nobbs are finding those little spaces.
And they look for Taylor now, who's found another one. She's offside, very late flag. But I'd like to see that one again.
It's a good ball through. You can see Jodie Taylor's just playing on the shoulder. Right decision. She is offside.
Definitely offside.
Yeah, she will do that all game. Just play on the shoulder. Look for that ball in behind.
Assistant ref got it right. I got it wrong. That's 2.
I'm not counting.
Horton. Well, it's over. Bright's there again. Moore. So into trouble and was fouled. Yes, she was fouled, but just that turn into trouble, was that a wise turn in there?
She's trying to protect the ball. 2 players there. It was definite foul.
Just wonder if she could have had some more support and movement around it. To me, England aren't working as hard as they did in the first half. Maybe that's natural at 4-0.
And that's what's difficult, and that's something that I'm sure Mark Sampson and his staff will have said to the players at half-time. You've got to keep up that intensity, keep up that hard work, despite being 4-0 up. But sometimes mentally as a player, probably does affect you.
Bullet saver, 21-year-old, only her 6th international for Russia. Emily Stokes leaving it for her goalkeeper, her 43rd. All the experience England, of course. More. Great space for Duggan on the left. She's screaming for it, didn't get it. Frank Kirby. Wanted Jodie Taylor to come for the ball, she didn't. And Rovers never going to win that against Steph Horton. She hasn't won a direct one-on-one chase with anyone tonight. Bronze, tidily done, well done. Moore now looks for Duggan. Almost a sort of an apology pass. When she's had the ball at her feet, she's looked very, very inventive and perky, and she's played very well, and Nobbs then off to Paris. And Bronze. And Taylor's awaiting in the middle. Good ball, good run by not just Jodie Taylor, but Duggan are coming off that left as well.
That's what you want from your wide players. You want them to come in field, and yeah, it was good movement.
Nobbs has played well. It has been a commanding England performance so far, but also Duggan hasn't scored, but I think she looks as if she's back to somewhere she was 2 years ago for England. And she was scoring hat-tricks in qualifying. Horton's in there, Bronze as well. Bright's gone away from the marker, now gone around the far post area to meet that ball. Good free kick routine by England.
So many danger players from set pieces. I know Millie Bright is probably their main danger now. They all seem to move and then try and find her, try and get her free.
Better from Russia in the second half, but more again. Just foraging, winning the ball back, doing the gritty, nasty things in the game, the unpleasant, winning the ball, working hard. England look for Paris over the top. Keeper's committed herself and gets there. Played well, the young goalkeeper, the teenager.
She's read situations well. She's come off a line when she's needed to. Being that sweeper keeper.
You know, Rachel was impressed with her at the European finals. As a former goalkeeper herself, of course. Well, it's over. With the throw. Paris Turning into space, shot was blocked. Decent block actually by Saver. Clearance comes to Demi Stokes. Goes for it. Dipping but not quite early enough.
She anticipated it very well, Demi Stokes. She's seen where the ball was coming, managed to nick the ball. And then again she thinks, why not? Can I get on the score sheet?
A good run in the side, 14 games in the last 15 now. They were, of course, played all the way through the last World Cup qualifying Sue, and then we were quite surprised when she was left out of that squad for Canada.
Yeah, she was a real surprise omission from that team, and I think it just shows the character of her, the fact she worked her way back in and she's been a regular ever since.
And that's Greenwood vying for that position on that far side. There goes Stokes again. Rafferty's been so unlucky with injuries. He was part of the squad in Canada.
That's something else that Mark does have. He's got that strength in depth now. There's at least 2 players fighting for each position.
And he's worked, and his staff have worked on the physical strength of the players as well. Danilova, will she win that chase? No, she won't. Chamberlain. No. Prenton, Nobbs. Into Taylor, who's a little bit sluggish moving to that ball. Moratsova. No free kick given for the challenge by Moore. And here comes Bronze. The goalkeeper this time decided just to take a step back and pick it up. Anna Kozhnikova. Well played, Steph Horton. Soknova's challenge lacked any sort of belief, by the way, is Nikita Paris. She's fouled by Soknova, the CSK 22-year-old.
Just surprised, JP, that the Russian players are still trying to play that long ball over the top. They have no pace up there. It's easy for England to defend against.
Duggan, Paris takes on Syastanova. Bronze arriving. Kirby into Bronze. Good movement. Back to Kirby. Here comes Duggan. That's a super goal. That is a super goal by England. They have 5. She's thoroughly deserved her goal. And it was really, really well worked. Lovely team goal that. England 5, Russia 0.
And that's what I've been so impressed with. England's movement, England's crisp passing when they go forward. Again, Fran Kirby involved, Lucy Bronze. I think Fran Kirby, whether she's left that for Tony Duggan, I'm not too sure, or whether she went for the shot herself. She'll say she left it for Tony Duggan. But how cool is that? Picks a spot, knows exactly where she's going to put it. Right into the top corner. And it is, you are absolutely spot on. It's the Tony Duggan of old that we've seen tonight.
Really has played well, and I said earlier on there was a statement goal celebration when Nikita Paris scored. This is a statement performance by England, the squad saying that they can retain that focus, remain focused on jobs in hand when there are external matters going on, as discomforting as they may be. But they are outside of their control. They can retain this focus, and they've done it very well tonight.
Yeah, they really have. And that is their focus. They were so gutted after the European Championships that they want to win the World Cup, and they have that belief. They had it in the summer. Fortunately, it didn't work for them, but this time...
Bronze, Nobbs, Stokes playing very high in this second half. Nobbs done an excellent game. Give and go. Oh, some lovely football now. The Lionesses are purring over by Jade Moore.
Just a better option from Jade Moore would have been to come out to this right-hand side. Lucy Bronze made an excellent run. But yeah, they're playing some really good football to watch.
Well, 5-0 up, and England will start to make changes. She's had a little glance there across to the that's why, because Karen Carney's warming up for England. Soknova. Morozova around the corner. Bundle of energy in there, Jordan Nobbs. There's such an engine on it. She's still only 24, I think, isn't she, Jordan Nobbs? She seems to have been around forever and a day. Dropped by Moore. Here's Jordan Nobbs again. Duggan and Kirby. They're enjoying it, England. Throughout they played with smiles on faces. Nobbs. Nikita Paris, not a good touch. Decent check back, needs support. Looks for an expansive overhead by Tony Duggan. Well, it would have been a lovely goal.
Again, it's good build-up play. Jordan Nobbs involved. Nikita Paris, not the best touch initially, but manages to check, and it's not a bad ball, just to the far post. Innovative, but not quite got the technique there.
Well, the player who got England on their way tonight departs. It was a lovely first goal. Kirby set it up. Paris finished. And then watch this. That speaks volumes of the feeling for Mark Sampson amongst this current squad. Karen Carney's on for Nikita Paris.
I think she's had a good game, Nikita Paris. She's been lively, wanting to get on the ball, wanting to make things happen. She should be really pleased with the performance and the goal.
Possibly her best performance in an England shirt, Paris.
Yeah, I think so. I think she looked dangerous every time she got on it. That's what you want from your attacking players, but with an end product, which I think she had.
Carney on for 133rd England performance, by the way. Scored against Russia back in Euro 2009, 3-2. And 2 goals in those finals. She also scored in the final itself. And England were on the losing side. Well, a brace for the manager. The FA continued investigations will be thorough. The barrister who saw the first evidence will look at the latest evidence. But the FA said on previous allegations that there was no case to answer. I think they just everyone wants it over and done with, Sue.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's Carney. And Nobbs back to Karen Carney. It'll be easy for Steph Horton. Carney on. You look at players who are sat up in the stands, in the squad. They're not involved here. I think Casey Stoney will be involved in the coaching side when her international career, illustrious international career, comes to an end. But there are Farrah Williams up in the stands. I mean, what future do you see for the older players in the squad?
I think similar to Casey Stoney, Farrah Williams is an excellent coach, excellent leader, and I think she'll probably go into a similar role.
Carney, those veterans playing it through.
I think you need them players in the squad, and I think they speak so highly of having Casey Stoney and Farrah Williams. They've been there, they've experienced all of these different tournaments, different situations, and they do help the youngsters coming through.
I'm sure Karen will appreciate me calling her a veteran. She's just turned 30, I think.
Seems to have been around forever, though.
Yeah. They're all youngsters to me, so... Stokes. There's Nobbs. Look at the line of 3, raring to go. Carney and Taylor and Kirby were in a line waiting to pounce there.
I think they were just saying too straight a ball. Trying to hit it on the diagonal.
It's a happy group out there. You know, there was a togetherness in the Netherlands, great work ethic, great focus, grim determination. utter bewilderment and heartache when they lost, because they expected to win, many people did, but here it's just a different feel about them. I don't know quite what it is. Yes, of course, 5-0 helps, and it's been a very good performance, but there's been a happiness about everything. Consider the build-up is remarkable. It's a foul though by Moore, it's a free kick to Russia.
Just looks like they're really enjoying their football.
Well, that was a criticism that they were ultimately too negative in the Netherlands. After, the bright start. There's a substitution here for England. Standing ovation for the Wallasey girl. Local girl made good. Top scorer in the European finals, golden boot, and scored here tonight to make it 2-0. Ellen White comes on. One of the most popular players in the game is Ellen White. She comes on with England defending a free kick. Not a very good one. Millie Bright will bring it away. Making the run through the middle. Good first touch under pressure. 69th game for England. All the way back to her debut against Austria back in March 2010 when she scored. In 2 World Cup finals now, 2 European finals. Scored against Scotland in the summer, Ellen White. She works her socks off, always has done. She's off and running again, in behind here, Ellen White. And Sober just stretched and got there.
Yeah, when you're 5-0 down, the last person you want to see coming on is Ellen White, because of that work ethic. She defends from the front, makes it really difficult for defenders. And then she's got that quality when she's got the ball as well.
It's a winning mentality as well, wants to win everything, every challenge, every game. She was crestfallen in the FA Cup final earlier in the year. This is Yastinova. Unfortunate slip. And also by the England goalkeeper. It's a corner. Disappointed with herself there. Trouble is she's had very little to do. They say the mark of a top goalkeeper is to retain focus when you don't have a lot to do. Up goes Belamet Saver, the tallest players out there. Coaches will tell a goalkeeper, put your mistake behind you, get on with it. Next moment is a crucial one. She dealt with it well.
Yes, she did.
Nobbs protected the ball brilliantly. She's fouled. It's a free kick. A little bit naughty at times, says the Russian number 11, Ekaterina Soknova, and the referee is agreeing with me.
There's a right decision. Should have been a booking. England were just on the attack. Lots of players getting forward.
White, oh, good take and turn, and she's gone for goal. A little bit of a deflection. Took the sting out of it off Belamet Saver. I think the substitute centre-back actually has been far more secure than Sivutovic, the veteran who was sent off in the first half, ever was. Bright with a header. This is Duggan. And she's fouled. She's very effervescent, is Tony Duggan, and a very bubbly character, but she's shining even brighter as a Barcelona player, it would seem. A wonderful part of the world to live and play your football. Here's Carney. Steers it into Ellen White. Touch to get away from the defender. Oh, good goalkeeping. Lovely build-up play by England. Good centre-forward play by Ellen White. A fine piece of goalkeeping, this.
Ellen White's made an impact since she come on. Great first touch into her path. Sherbak's done well, despite conceding 5 goals. She played well.
Lots of something on that. Here's Lucy Bronze. Carney.
Sounds strange to say that for a goalkeeper, but she has actually pulled off some really good saves. And I think the goals from England have just been clinical.
Carney looking for a 32nd in an England shirt. Hasn't scored in a year. Got the goal in Belgium. So there's confirmation that Sotneva is cautioned. It was an important goal by Karen Carney. A year ago it was in Belgium, and they won 2-0. Another substitution for England. Lizzie Christensen comes on for Fran Kirby. He got a standing ovation and deserved to. So
she had an excellent game. I think she was involved in all of the 5 goals in some way.
Nobbs. Here's Duggan. And he comes back to her. Christensen hassling Morozova, and she's fouled her. Particularly happy with the decision. I think the referee got it right. Christensen, Manchester City player, turns 26 tomorrow. It's her birthday tomorrow. Title winner, FA Cup winner. It's at Manchester City already. 18 appearances now for her country. Fedorova. I think overall she's done enough to justify her inclusion in the starting lineup. With her changes from the European Championship team. I think the FA will be pleased with the attendance at Prenton Park. 7,000 here, just over. Expected 5,000 every night. And a good evening at the home of the Women's FA Cup final a couple of times, actually, 2001, 2002. Millwall beat Doncaster the first year, and Doncaster came back and won it the second. Here's Carney. Throw into England. We were the Doncaster team that old, I don't know. 2001.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I was playing for Leeds then.
Oh, so you are that old.
I was very young.
Yeah. FA Cup final now at Wembley Stadium, of course. Stokes gets it back. Looking at Carney. Keeper has scored it under a little bit of pressure. Not the tallest Karen Carney, but she will challenge for a ball in the air in a determined way.
Demi Stokes with a good delivery to the far post, and like you say, Karen Carney, she has scored with a head a couple of times.
I think we're seeing more like the old Demi Stokes tonight as well.
It's like she's just been given a bit more freedom to get forward. I just think we've seen a really nice balance to the England side.
Some of the criticism of them in the summer, why weren't they more expansive against France? Oh, they beat France.
Yeah.
That was an historic victory. They couldn't be open against France because you would invited trouble.
It's about winning games and knowing who you're playing against.
It's a corner here to Russia. I also thought they gave so much in that game. When they came to the Dutch match, there really was very little left in the locker. What's left in the locker here tonight? Can Russia get one? Monotsova's in there. Bilomitseva up to the back. So a substitute centre-back in towards the near post area. Missed by everyone in it. It was Bilomitseva, and it was a good chance for Russia. Headed it down. And I think you'll find the bounce carries it over. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think Bilomitseva actually expected it to come through to her. I think the challenge went up initially by Steph Houghton, and it just fell at her really quickly. She couldn't adjust her feet in time.
He scored for a club, Riazan, this season. It's a lovely attempted ball away by England's captain. She's got a range of passing back tonight. I think he'll be really pleased. Mark Sampson, and the Russian coach less so. Elena Fruminova. You would have been on an England side playing against her actually in the past. Fruminova. Here's Moore. You never used to notice the opponents when you were breezing past
That's
them.
true. I was just going to say that.
And you saw the back of the shirts, and you never saw their faces. Here's Carney. Bronze. Carney again. White. Oh, Carney's done very well. Ellen White! Oh, she's deserved a goal since coming on. Jordan Nobbs, what a massive performance by her tonight. This is a good attack.
Yeah, it is, and all of the attacks have been really well planned. You can see it's things that they've worked on in training. The movement, the way that they interchange those positions up front. And there's a real desire to get onto the end of it. Even the substitutes that have come on, they want to make an impact. Because I think Ellen White will be really disappointed that she didn't start tonight.
Again, good work by Duggan. Carney. Stokes is available on the left. Oh, good ball. Good interchange. Cross behind. Bronze comes in. And it should have been 6. She can smile at 5-0 up. It wasn't a good finish, but it was a lovely build-up by England.
Fullback to fullback. You know, Demi Stokes initially with the cross in, and Lucy Bronze does so well to get across a marker, get into that position. Yeah, you've got to test the goalkeeper there. She'll be disappointed with that when she looks back.
Enthusiastic crowd, bigger than expected. 5-0 England, could have been 8 or 9. And a very good way to put the pain of the European Championship ultimate disappointment behind them. Bryant steered it away. There's Jordan Nobbs again. She's covered some ground. They've given her every opportunity to play the ball. By the way, Russia, they haven't pressed Jordan Nobbs anywhere near enough. They're a better side than this, Russia. They've been very poor tonight, but they've been made to look poor by a very good England performance. Duggan. Millie Bright. Big diagonal, inviting Bronze to make the run. Look at that. Classic England move here when you've got Lucy Bronze in the side. Back to Carney. Carney into the box. And in the end, it was Zjastinova's challenge as she went to ground to win it back. Great England switch there on the counter. Carney. All the substitutes have come on and done well for England. Christensen. Stokes. Carney. Christensen. Blocked by Blanetsova. Stokes. Across the goal. Parried by the goalkeeper. Ellen White was flying in. More skippy again tonight. Here's Bronze. Carney. Duggan. Maybe a bit of tiredness about that pass to Jordan Nobbs, but interestingly Demi Stokes was already off and running on that left-hand side again. Bronze. Now Ellen White, led by Christensen. Finish was wayward. Time now, of course, in the game where you have to start considering your player of the match. Who would you be considering at the moment? What sort of player would you be considering as Russia start to make a change?
I think you've got to pick one of the front line, because I think they've been absolutely outstanding. Their movement, the way that they're passing, the quality of the passing, the weight of the passes, and their clinical finishing. But then you've got to look at the midfield, likes of Jordan Nobbs. I think she's been outstanding. I think she's covered every blade of grass. Tony Duggan, Frank Kirby, Jodie Taylor. There's a lot to consider. How long have I got?
About 17 days going by that reckoning. You've got about 2 minutes.
2 minutes, OK.
Substitution, by the way. Panchukina has come on. Katerina Panchukina from the sort of Perm side, top of the table in Russia. This is her 40th international. Carney. And bronze. Good movement by Duggan. Nice turn as well. She was protected by Kozhnikova. Strong defending there. Kozhnikova. What a good game, Demi Stokes.
I'll have to add her to the list, and Lucy Bronze, and I think it's just been a really good team performance as well as individuals. I think collectively they've played really well together.
Casey Stoney, she's up in the stands, doesn't matter. Farrah Williams, name them all, go on. Here's Izzy Christiansen. Good football, Nobbs. And away by Kozhnikova. Wharton, bronze. Lovely ball. Here's Carney. Into Ellen White, she's offside. Oh, I think Izzy Christiansen would have been as well. Some of the youngsters in the crowd haven't realised that the referee's blown. It's a shame, it was a lovely move.
Then another good move down this right-hand side, and I spoke about a way to pass. This is a perfect way to pass, and the run makes it from Karen Carney. Does exactly what she should do. She's onside.
Oh, she's onside. Izzy Christiansen wasn't, but Ellen White was. The assistant referee was a little bit slow getting forward. I think that's Katrin Rafalski, is it? The assistant referee. That's a lovely back heel by Christensen looking for Duggan. England have got the important pieces of the job done, and they've had a bit of flamboyance and flair as well. Carney, Duggins is in a little bit of trouble, by the way. She's tried to find Ellen White there. This is bronze. Carney. Take on Zviestinova. Got her feet wrong there, the little left back. Very secure performance by the captain today. Jordan Nobbs. Millie Bryant has absolutely buttoned that position down for herself, hasn't she?
She really has. Seems to have formed a really good partnership with Steph Houghton.
Oh, lovely crossfield ball, bronze. Christensen, White. Comes back to Carney, try and set something up again, more. Easy ball away to bronze. Sees the run of Christensen. Oh, brilliant. Oh, brilliant it would have been. The outside of the boot, a little bit of flamboyance about the finish again, but it didn't come off. But a lovely move by England. Some of their approach football today has been absolutely delightful.
Superb from Izzy Christiansen. Yeah, good run. She's just, it's her awareness to see that Lucy Bronze is coming in field. She just tries to curl it with the outside of her foot.
She's come on, she's been bright, she wants to be part of it all. Karen Carney likewise, Ellen White too, the three substitutes. It's been a strong 14 player performance by England.
You can see they all want to get on the ball, there's always options.
Carney looks for White, that's a little bit of support. Oh, it's a terrible clearance, Duggan! Seals it for England, and the smile says it all. It's been a night for smiles for England, it's been a night for 6 goals for England. And they are on the road to the World Cup finals in some style. The tears of the Netherlands just weeks ago have been replaced by joy, exuberance, and those smiles at Prenton Park. 6-0.
Poor defending from Russia. The goalkeeper comes out, makes the wrong decision. Poor from the centre half, straight to Tony Duggan. But then for Tony to have that awareness, to see that the goalkeeper was off the line and just an easy side foot into the back of the net.
The girl from across the Mersey who started off at Everton has the goal at Tranmere that makes it 6. It could have been 10. We've seen England score big results in qualifiers, the World Cup finals, and for the World Cup finals last time around. But this is a decent opponent, and they've really put them to the sword. It's been one of the most fluent England performances, a passing England performance that I can remember from recent months. Having said that's a dreadful pass out by Steph Houghton. This is Fedorova switching it, chance for a consolation, off the bar. Absolutely rifled across there. The danger's not over. Moore is now fouled, but it was a absolute smasher from Panchakina, the substitute.
Good ball across to find her. She's in acres of space. She doesn't actually need to hit it that hard. Just place it.
We've got 5 minutes to go. Five minutes to go, Sue, so you've had now long enough to make up your mind.
Now it's time.
Who's your player of the match?
I'm going to go with Jordan Nobbs. I think the amount of ground that she's covered, I think she's been excellent. She's been involved in everything good that's happened for England. Defensively, she's been there when she's needed, and she's just the energy in the midfield. But it could have gone to any one of even 14 players.
Oh, don't go down your list again, for goodness sake. Stokes is going to take the throw, and he'll be delighted, I think, with the performance and the performance of Frank Kirby sitting in behind there, and Duggan, as you were saying. You can go down the list really, because there have been so many fantastic performances for England, and it's refreshing that they've started so brightly, having had that heartache just weeks ago in Enschede. I think it was Enschede, I can't really remember. Panchakina, strong run. But one of the most disappointing players I think out there has been Danilova. We expected her to lead the line. She's on AWOL at times. Fedorova, given that responsibility at times, come to the left-hand side, but
she is their best player, and England highlighted her.
Absolutely, they were wary of her. They've done their homework on her, and Millie Bright and Steph Houghton have had her in their pocket.
Yep.
Duggan. There's Nobbs. Carney. Think about a shot from there. It's in her range. Christensen coming forward. I think England slightly overplayed that. Bolton. Goalkeeper put under pressure there from Millie Bright. England casual in that moment. And the manager will have a word about that in days to come. 6-0 up, but he won't let his players forget that just a key moment, or not key moments, but at moments in the game, they have been a wee bit casual. White pressurising. Element Saver won that. And here's space now for Christensen. Into Ellen White. Can she get a goal this time? Around the keeper. Side netting only. Keeper's hurt. She might have done just enough to put Ellen White too wide to get the shot in on the angle. See from this replay.
Yeah, Izzy Christensen with a good ball through. And yeah, I think she just goes that little bit too wide to be able to cut the ball back into the net. It was the right idea to do that, to take the goalkeeper on. So they just narrowed the angle down.
Into the last minute. Steered away by Stokes. Here's Jordan Nobbs. Duggan on a hat-trick. White awaiting in the middle, Christensen there. Back to Duggan. Still bright in these last seconds. White, Nobbs. She's claiming a corner, but it wasn't a good finish. They could have had double figures easily. Should they have had double figures? Is that harsh?
No, they should have, and it's about those finer details, isn't it, sometimes? And I think that's what Mark will look back at, and he'll analyse, and he'll say some of the passing maybe went astray at times, and it is sometimes about being clinical in front of goal.
6-0, lovely exuberant night, the flags are waving. By asking a question like that, am I just grumpy old man?
No, definitely not.
You
no,
have
it
to
is.
think.
No, I think it's been an excellent performance from England, and the best I've seen them for absolutely ages. But yes, they could have scored more.
Here's Carney looking for more, set up by Ellen White. I think actually Ellen White was looking for Izzy Christensen. Over the top now. Danilova, no attempt whatsoever really to challenge for the ball. A very good start. Wales, of course, won their opening game. In Kazakhstan, 1-0 with a goal by Fishlock. Here's Ellen White, the goalkeeper's gone wandering, but again sweeping high to get it away. And we're into 2 minutes of stoppage time. Christensen to Bronze. White. Christensen again. Demi Stokes, touch was a little bit heavy, couldn't get the shot away. And it steered out in the end by Kovalenko. England's record win, by the way, 13-0 against Hungary away in October 2005. And, in recent qualifying, they've beaten the likes of Montenegro 9-0. This time around, they've beaten a team that impressed many people with their defensive strength in the European finals, and England have absolutely cut them apart.
I think they spoke in the finals, didn't they, about wanting to be the fittest team there, and you can see the fitness coming out in this game, the latter stages.
Here's Stokes. Added 20% to their fitness levels over the last year. England, they were the fittest team in the European finals. They didn't win the European finals, but they're on the road in the World Cup qualification handsomely with a 6-0 thrashing of a team that was decent in the summer, but a team that has been absolutely hammered. Player of the match, Jordan Nobbs amongst the goals. Couple for Duggan, Bronze, Paris, Taylor as well. Really convincing for England. They've beaten Russia with 6 of the best.
What a performance from England against the team that many thought would pose their toughest questions, would pose the toughest opposition for them in this qualifying campaign. But Russia were out of sorts tonight, and England made light work of them. And that, of course, means they now top the qualifying group. Of course, Wales played at the weekend in Astana, and they had topped it before tonight, but they've been moved down to second place. And of course, next up for England, Bosnia and Herzegovina on the 24th of November and Kazakhstan on the 28th of November, and they will feel very confident going into their matches after tonight. Both those games are live on the BBC. That was a performance that was about unity, it was about execution, precision, and it looked like they were doing everything they've been asked to do. There were those moves that came out there where I'm sure on the training pitch you think, if I get the opportunity, it would be fantastic if we could try this out. And when you get an opposition like Russia tonight, who seem to allow that at times, Kelly, and just seem to kind of roll back and say, yeah, do your fantastic build-up play, carry on, have a go, see what else you can do.
Yeah, I said it at half-time, but this is the worst Russian team I've seen in a long, long time. We've played against Russia many times over our playing career, and this was a poor side. But on the other hand, England were at the races tonight. You know, they had a lot of good link play in and around the box, good player movement, 2v1s down the wing, exposing the fullbacks. It was good play all over the pitch. I mean, Siobhan Chamberlain didn't have a save to make. The last shot that hit the bar, she was unchallenged the whole game. But a really impressive performance, just like keeping the ball, moving it, switching it. Fran Kirby, for me, was a player that was on our game tonight. Obviously, Jordan Nobbs, they were key players that kept the ball for England, and they didn't do that in the Euros. It was a good team performance tonight.
And it was all over in the first half. Of course, Russia were down to 10, and England were capitalising with the goals. And Nikita Parris, who is a really exciting young prospect for England, 2 appearances in the Euros, and tonight starting this campaign with great confidence, Alex.
Yeah, I love Keith. Keith, like I'm still her teammate from last week, Gabby. No, Nikita's done really well. I think she just really had a point to prove. She wants to be in Mark's style. And that's the way you answer your manager, with a performance like that.
I think tonight, Gabby, was like a statement performance for England, because yes, they've been deflated from the semi-final defeat against the Dutch when they expected as a squad to go all the way, and they didn't in some quite dramatic fashion, losing 3-0 to the hosts. So to come back here and have their first chance at putting a statement out, yes, they are the 3rd-ranked team in the world. They've done that tonight. They've been clinical, and they've had an identity, and they've gone with it, and they've really, for the first minute, put it out there what a good team England still are.
And some fantastic goals too. Just Lucy Bronze there. That's your right back scoring a fantastic volley right outside the edge of the box. You know, they seem to have a lot more confidence. And I've seen a different shift in their confidence in this game tonight. They look more comfortable on the ball.
And if you talk about confidence, Toni Duggan personified that, didn't she? She's come here from just a couple of games with Barcelona. She was in and out of the side a little bit, and the end of the qualifying, didn't play every match, of course, in Euro 2017, but looked right back on her game tonight.
Yeah, and what Toni gives you, when she's employed on the left-hand side, you don't know whether she's going to go down the line. She has the ability to cut inside and get her shots away. There's so much different parts to Toni Duggan's game. She brings a different element to this England side, and that's what I liked about the setup tonight. You had wingers that are comfortable playing on, maybe in the Euros you had Ellen White who's a workhorse, but you had actual wingers that have the ability to take on 1v1 and make things happen in this game.
This is the Toni Duggan of old, and by old I mean that 16, 17-year-old at Everton, starting off her England career, no worries about the world. She's regained that confidence. She was in and out of the Man City squad starting 11 last season, let alone the England team. So to see her particularly out here tonight, looking like she's enjoying the football, going off on amazing runs, interlinking between the front three.
Let's hear from them now. Toni Duggan is with the player of the match, Jordan Nobbs and Joe Curry.
Jordan, that was an emphatic victory. Was it as comfortable as it looked?
Yeah, you know, we've been working hard, and it's been a tough few weeks for us, but we wanted to play more on the park, and I think that's exactly what we did today. I thought it was a fantastic performance, and I think the 6-0 just showed how hard we've been working this week.
6 goals, 5 different goal scorers, 2 for you, Toni. What does it mean to score in front of this home crowd?
Yeah, it's really nice. A little present for my friends, my family, my boyfriend that travel up and down the country, abroad, everywhere that we play, and this one was close to home, so it's nice to repay the favour to them.
How important was it to put the Euros behind you and start this campaign with a big victory like this?
Yeah, we needed a big win today, and I think we needed a big boost from the last few weeks, and you know, we celebrated with Mark and the team. We're very proud of how far we've come, and you know, we're looking forward to the World Cup, and what a great start.
And Toni, for you, when you look around this crowd, you've got friends, you've got family here, how much does it mean to be here tonight in front of them?
It means a lot. Obviously, personally, I've got my friends, my family, but all the supporters that have helped us along the way at the Euros, the people that have always backed the team, they've always followed us, and to see so many young girls here tonight cheering, the atmosphere was amazing. Hopefully we can come back here.
Jordan, we saw Nikita Parris score. Her goal celebration was running over and hugging Mark Sampson. How much do you think that would have meant to him?
I mean, it means the world, but, you know, we've been such a strong team for the last 2 years, and we wanted to celebrate like a team and, you know, really just show how hard we've worked and how much we support this team and all the girls out on the field and on the bench. So, you know, I think it just shows how much of a team we are and together.
Tony, before you came out tonight, did you guys set yourselves a goal target of what you wanted to win by?
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, we didn't take Russia lightly. They're a great team and, you know, they had a great Euros. I think let's take nothing away from ourselves with our performance. Russia have only been beat 2-0 by Germany and Sweden in the past, so to come off the pitch and win 6-0 is a big credit to all the girls, the staff and everyone involved.
Well, girls, congratulations for tonight. Jordan, you are the Vauxhall Player of the Match. Tony, if I could ask you to present this to her.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm delighted to say Jodie Taylor's joined us in the studio. Jodie, I'm sure you'd echo Tony's sentiments there about coming back here. The atmosphere was special, and for a local lass, it must be a wonderful feeling.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredible to come back to Tranmere Rovers, and you know what Tony said. I think the support's been unreal tonight. You know, the town of Birkenhead and Wallasey Midstead have really got behind us. So yeah, it would be nice to come back if we can make that happen.
That was a very special performance with some incredible goals, not least your own, in there. Did it feel coming into this that it was so important to show unity in this squad?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there's a goal there right in front of the cop. No, it was obviously important for all of us to show us as a team with everything in light of what's been going on. And I think tonight we showed how positive we are, how much of a group we are, how close we are.
And of course that celebration from Nikita Parris's goal, where pretty much every one of you to a woman ran over to Mark Sampson, that seemed particularly poignant.
Yeah, you know, we are a team and we like to celebrate as a team, and I think you see through the Euros and even before that, we love coming over because it's, you know, it's not just the 11 on the pitch, it's the girls on the bench, it's the staff, and you know, to me it's just showing how close we are.
And before the match, Alex was telling us about controlling the controllables and things that you can, you know, things that you can control, things that you can't. Was that overemphasised or emphasised in the build-up to this, that there are some things you've just got to put behind you and move on from?
Yeah, so. I think obviously we're all professional. We've been in the game a long time, and we know in ourselves what we need to do. And I do think it was a very professional performance from the team. 6-0 obviously is a great win, and I think the first half especially we played some great football. Yeah, I think we made some really good decisions. We're clinical in front of goal, so you know, overall I'm really happy with it.
Thank you so much, Jodie. We're going to hear from the manager now. Mark Sampson is with Joe Curry.
Mark, congratulations. How important was it to come out here and make a statement like that tonight?
Well, it's an important result. It's an important qualifier against the team who are going to be competing for us to qualify, so we wanted to win our home game, and I'm very proud of the performance as well. I think, you know, if we reflect, the last time we played Russia was in 2013 and we drew 2-2. I thought tonight we were dominant, and there was some great parts of our performance, so very proud of the players.
Nikita Parris scored. Her goal celebration was to run over and give you the biggest hug, followed by the rest of the squad. How much did that mean to you?
Well, it's something we've always tried to encourage with the team. We want the team to be a close and together team, and you know, they certainly are, and that's something we've encouraged right from the outset.
Mark, congratulations tonight.
Thanks, Joe.
He's happy, and he will be, of course, and he'll be in there afterwards telling you all everything that went right here. And this is the road now, isn't it, to those World Cup finals in 2 years' time. You must feel very confident.
Yeah, of course. I think obviously Russia was a tough game, first game of the World Cup qualifiers. It is always a hard one, and so to put out a performance like that, get a lot of goals, get the 3 points under our belt, I think obviously moving on from the Euros now, we've got a big focus coming up.
Well done, Jodie. Thank you so much. Alex, and of course Kelly as well. And if you keep watching live women's football right now on the red button for the last half an hour of Northern Ireland against Republic of Ireland, here in Tranmere, the Russians have come and gone, and England are off and running on the road to the World Cup finals with 6 of the very best. From all of us from here at Prenton Park, a very good night.
Kirby, and they're looking for parachuting opportunity. Gets the goal. England are ahead. Great ball. She's put Taylor through, and England have a second. Picks up Jordan Nobbs. A really good goal by England. Bronze. Oh, terrifically done.